Hey, everybody. This is HQ. Uh, the name of the show today is You're Not Perfect. So, why are we looking for perfection in relationships? And I thought about this subject. Why are we looking for perfection in relationships when we're not perfect ourselves? We all have flaws, we all have traits and behaviors that are unlikable sometimes, right? And this is all a part of being a human being and us having individual differences, personal flaws, misunderstandings. It's how we handle these differences of uniqueness. It's how we are able to adapt to other people's flaws or other people's idiosyncrasies. See, I'm one of those people that I adapt to people's flaw. I accept them the way that they walk through the door. That's why it's easy for people in my personal life to talk to me, or they come up to me and they say the most outrageous stuff. Like, didn't you tell your wife that? Or didn't you tell your husband that? Or because I'm that type of person that you can approach and talk to like that. Because I usually give no judgment because people are flawed. But you have to recognize and work on those areas that may cause friction in relationships, might mess up the growth that you have going and the improvement that you want to make in your relationships. Extending patience and understanding to other people build stronger relationships despite their imperfections. Everybody has imperfections. Being unlikable doesn't define a person entirely. Having unlikable parts don't define a person. It's just a bigger picture of that person, a complex picture of that person, right? So the name of the show was, why are you looking for perfection when you're not perfect, right? We all have blind spots, dysfunctions. We all do. We all come with a level of bullshit. We all do. It just is what it is. We are individual human beings. Okay? Psychological, social, cultural differences. We all have different things. We have biases. All of us got biases. We all want to do the mental shortcut. What are they called? The stats. That's it. Let's do all the stats. The stats got to be right. This is how some people interpret and shape the world. Sometimes that can lead to the wrong outcomes. Maladaptive patterns. Maladaptive. I always have a hard time saying that word. Maladaptive patterns or blind spots to things that people have. Ego problems. We're always trying to protect ourselves, protect our self-interest, protect our self-image. And sometimes that can end up making us deny uncomfortable truths about ourselves in relationships. Self-reflection is difficult. I found that on here. On here is terrible. Every time I hear a man get on the panel and say, it's all the woman's fault, I say to myself, there is no self-awareness, very difficult self-awareness when you stand morally above another person, another human being, because you may have done all the right things and they may have faltered in what they did. It doesn't make you morally superior. And it's difficult to deal with people who feel that way. But I do. It's, it is what it is, human beings. When we get conditioned culturally, right? Social norms and values are different. They influence us. We get influenced by stuff on here. And then when you get a certain thing in your mind, you become blind to anything else. Oh, he got 2 baby mamas, so that means he's no good. Or she twerked on the internet, she's no good. This is unrealistic because we're all human. We're all different. Please hit the like button when you come in, please. Please hit the like button. Okay? Thinking that you belong to this specific group, like Christians, like the fundamentalist Christian people. All things belong this way, but human beings are so different. There's no way you can interpret every human being's next move. On top of the fact that we compare ourselves to other people. Well, I should be doing this. I'm 30 and I should be doing this. She's 20 and she should be doing this. She's a mother and she should be doing this. That constantly feeds into our insecurities as human beings. And we have unrealistic expectations of other people. There's no way a person that's my age would have the same experience as me. So how can I judge a person harshly for that when they may or may not have had the advantages that I have had, right? But we all work with incomplete information about human beings. Nobody knows everything about a person or how they feel. We have flawed interpretations about a lot of people. Please hit the like button. If you come in, please hit the like button. Ethical and moral standards are different for every human being. Every human being. What you find morally repugnant, I may not. What you find right, I may find wrong. So therefore, you cannot enforce your beliefs upon me. And I'm not going to enforce my beliefs upon you. And that should be how it is for most people. You can guide them the way that you want them to go, be an influence, but you cannot tell another human being that they may or may not be wrong about certain things. But we all cling to the familiar. If women do this, then I have to do that. If women do that, then I have to do that. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Okay. We all have blind spots. We all are different. The whole point is to recognize that you weren't raised how I was raised and vice versa, and celebrate those differences. I have always said and will continue to say, one act does not define a person. A person who's on the internet doing this one particular thing is not the full facet of that human being. And I don't consider myself morally superior than anyone, never have. But there is no such thing as a perfect person. Please hit the like button when you come in. Please hit the like button. There's no such thing as a perfect person. But most people on here are looking for perfection. I have always said, if you have a list of 10 things that you want from a person, if they have 7, then you need to try to make that work. You need to try to make that relationship work. If they have at least 7 of what you want. Perfection is subjective and unattainable because of the complexities of human beings and human nature and life itself. Reasons why there is no such thing as a perfect person. Everybody has a different definition of what perfect is. influenced by your personal values, cultures, experiences, religion, all of these things. What seems perfect to you may not be perfect to me. Humans fail. People make mistakes. She got pregnant when she was 17. She never got pregnant again. That doesn't mean she's a bad person. That doesn't mean she's a 304. People make mistakes. It's a fundamental aspect of being a human being. Errors and failure are necessary for growth and learning. We all have limitations and flaws. No one has complete and utter knowledge about a human being, another human being. Physical, mental, and emotional imperfections are part of human nature. It just is what it is. He may have did one thing. He may have stole something out of the store and he got in trouble with the law. That doesn't mean he's a bad person. That doesn't mean he's a bad person. He made a mistake. And just because you never went to jail and made a mistake doesn't mean you're morally or any other way superior than that person. Your expectations change. Everybody's expectations change. So therefore, I will not be able to meet all of your expectations of me ever. And you won't be able to meet everyone else's expectations either. That includes a wife, that includes a girlfriend. We all experience a wide range of emotions that lead to vulnerabilities, contradictions, flaws, mistakes, all of those things. Imperfections are inevitable. They're natural, sometimes unavoidable. We all have diverse needs and perspectives. That's what people seem to forget. Everything you believe, I don't believe. I'm not a religious person. So all of the things that are religious, that mean something to you, may mean nothing to me. That doesn't mean you're better than me. That doesn't mean I'm better than you. That just means we're different, and people are complex that way. Perfection in one complex might cause conflict in another. One person cannot perfectly fulfill every person's needs. And everybody has to compromise at some particular point. See, I brought up this subject because of this one panel I was listening to, as a matter of fact, about 2 days ago. And all I heard is the women is the problem. The women are the problem. The women are the problem. The women are the problem, with no accountability on the man's side. Straight from my mouth. You cannot have a conversation about what's wrong with the other sex until you have fixed things within your sex. And that's the way people are going to look at it. Men are going to say, it's the women's fault. And women are going to say, it's the men's fault. And I'm going to say, and I've continued to say, and will say, it's both of your faults. So fix your yard first, and fix your yard first. And learn to compromise, and learn to be individualistic first before you try to be in a relationship. Diversity. We're diverse. That is what makes people interesting. I don't want a person that does and thinks the same way I do. I would be bored out of my mind. Please hit the like button when you come in. Please hit the like button when you come in. Life is unpredictable. Life is full of uncertainty and uncomfortable truths, factors that can affect even the most well-intentioned human being. You cannot control every variable about love and life. You just cannot. Perfection is an illusion. The idea that you can find perfection in another human being is unrealistic, and it's unfair to the person that you're looking for. It's unfair to you specifically because it's something that you will never find. You have to accept imperfections. You have to accept they are something that is inevitable. It's essential to living authentically if you accept that imperfection in other human beings. There is no such thing as a perfect relationship. You cannot get a perfect relationship. I'm sorry, dudes. I'm sorry, ladies. There's no such thing as a perfect human being. There were some things about my husband I could not stand. He would fume. But it was a part of him that I had to live with. There's no such thing as a perfect relationship or marriage because all of these things are part of human nature. Individualities, complexities of emotions, dynamics. Everybody has flaws. Every relationship will have flaws, insecurities, blind spots. People make mistakes. And here's the thing. Are you one of those people that are willing to see the other person's side just in case they make a mistake? Or are you too far above it that you cannot forgive a person for making a mistake? Please hit the like button when you come in. Please hit the like button when you come in, please. We all have individual differences. Every person has unique values, beliefs, habits, ways of thinking. Differences in upbringing, culture, past experiences, misunderstandings, traumas, you name it. But people have to grow. And part of your growth is understanding that other people have imperfections. But here's the thing. You need to address your imperfections. I always say, all of us have trauma and flaws. And most of us carry those around in a bag on our back. A lot of us know how to take that stuff out, look at it, and straighten it out and put it back in the bag. But a lot of you guys bring it out and throw it on the floor and let everybody see your imperfections, your trauma, your hurt. Every time something happens, you bring them out. That's a part of emotional maturity. Learning how to take the things out of your trauma bag, mold them into a manageable thing, and putting them back into that bag. That's a part of growing up. That's a part of being in a relationship. Understanding that you can't pull those things out every time something happens. People miscommunicate or have different styles of communicating. Can lead to frustration and conflict. Immediately, when you get into a relationship, you need to figure out your communication styles. Is she one of those people that runs away? Are you one of those people that run away? Are you one of those people who try to browbeat another person into believing what you believe? Are you one of those people who sits back and listens? That's a part of challenging relationships. That's a part of being in a relationship, understanding the other person's communication style. And even if you understand the communication style, it doesn't mean you're always going to be in sync with each other's communication. People struggle to express themselves. Please hit the like button when you come in the door. Please hit the like button. Okay. All of these things are a part of relationships. So nothing is perfect. People have unrealistic expectations. Social media, movies, society's idea always come out weird weirder than what we actually know, what we have seen. I don't give people passes for acting the way they act. When you hit a certain age, you should know if you have dysfunction. You should know if you came from a dysfunctional family. If you want to get out of that dysfunction or be able to mold that dysfunction and put it in your bag without it having issues with you, you have to learn how to approach that dysfunction. It cannot be that you bring that dysfunction into a relationship and expect that relationship to work. Everybody has some kind of emotional damage. Some of it is light, like mine. And some people have damage where they will never be able to get past it. But the whole point is most of us are in the middle and we're able to manage our emotional baggage. Therefore, with that emotional baggage, you won't have a perfect relationship ever. You cannot put your fears, insecurities, trauma onto your partner. It has to be managed before you get into a relationship. Otherwise, it's going to come out of that bag unintentionally. And there's other stressors that will allow you not to have a perfect relationship. Outside stuff, work, money, family, health. All of these things strain relationship. All of these things change relationship. Please hit the like button when you come in, please. Please hit the like button. Life is unpredictable. Events create pressures that test even the strongest relationships. Why do you think people break up when a child in the family dies or loses life? Why do you think people break up? Because finances are in the way. There's always external stressors. How well you manage those external stressors is how strong a marriage or relationship could be. On top of needing to be able to compromise with another human being, no two people will agree on anything all the time. This is one thing that you have to accept. Men, you have to accept this. Your wife or your woman will not agree with you all the time, and you have to give her that space not to think the same way you think, and vice versa. And I hear a lot of men on here saying, she got to do what I say. I'm the leader. Sometimes you're not going to be able to pull the lead card because one of you guys are going to be unhappy. You need to learn how to compromise. No two people will agree on the same thing. Compromise requires effort, patience, willingness to adapt and change, right? Conflict is a part of a relationship. Disagreements and arguments are a natural part of a relationship. If you are so flat out insecure that you cannot have a conflict with your spouse, then you shouldn't be married, because it's going to come. I am hyena-esque, but I like to challenge the thinking of people that I am around. I like to challenge the man in my life to think beyond whatever he's thinking, to think better, to get a more logical conclusion, whatever. And this comes across as combative, but in a nice way. And it's only when you get to know me that you know it's not a mean way. It's she just wants to expand our horizons type way. Like, I would love to have a partner that has different political views than me. If he was a Republican or an independent and I'm Democrat, I'm a liberal, I would love that. We'd have big conversations all the time. I'm that type person. I don't want to be agreeable to you completely. That's not how that works. It would not be interesting or satisfying to me to be congruent with you all the time. People have different love languages. Please hit the like button when you come in. Please hit the like button. We have different love languages, all of us. Partners may express and receive love in different ways. Words, affirmation, acts of service. I'm a person that needs acts of service. I don't need you to tell me you love me. You only need to tell me you love me one time, and I'm going to believe you. And then you have to prove it, which means you have to do things. You have to have acts of service towards me in order for me to feel loved and wanted. Sometimes those love languages are misaligned, and they lead to feelings of misunderstood or undervalued. So these are the things that I present to you that say relationships are not perfect. Relationships are never going to be perfect. Okay? Love isn't always enough. Please understand that. Love is vital. I hear a lot of men on the panel say, "Oh, I need respect, not love. I need what is it? I need respect, not love." I think it's respect, not love, or something to that effect. The problem is you men don't understand that we women need love and not particularly the respect. We want the respect, of course, but we want to be loved too, more so. I was reading this book, and the women said they'd rather be loved than have respect, and the men said they'd rather have respect than love. While people have love, it doesn't automatically resolve the practical challenges of a relationship. But we do have to have trust, respect, shared goals, equal respect. But a healthy relationship is not about perfection, right? It's about mutual respect, effort, the ability to navigate relationships, the ability to accept people's imperfections. And I see a lot of people on here, when we speak to people on here, they want perfection. He got to be making X, Y, and Z. She got to be this, and this. She got to be. What about passion? What about falling in love with somebody? What about wanting somebody to build a life with somebody, regardless of how much money they got, regardless of how much she is fit, feminine, and friendly, regardless of all of these things? I understand you got to have attraction. I get all that. People have got to have attraction. Please hit the like button. You walk in the door, please hit the like button. I get it. But women need to have attraction too, but we also have to have other things. We also have to have respect. We also have to know that if I make a mistake, you're not going to run off. "Oh my God, you're my woman," and you got on there and you started twerking. The relationship is over. No woman is signing up for that. If you can walk away, you can walk out the door the minute I decide to wear a dress that you don't like. No woman is signing up for that. You can also be a good person and the relationship still don't work. Relationships are complex, complicated. Even the best intentions of a human being doesn't ensure that you're going to have success. Men are out here, men say all the time, you better get her to like you better than you like her. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. You men want it to work that way, but that's not how that works. Sometimes it works that way and sometimes it doesn't. People with the best intentions and qualities don't always guarantee success. There's roadmaps, and the roadmaps are different from every human being. reason why two good people may not work. They may be incompatible. They might have different values, goals, lifestyles, upbringings. And all of these things might create problems. Even though both characters may be most people may be wanting to make it work. It may not work because we're incompatible. Communication may be passing each other in the night. Even good people struggle to communicate effectively. Their needs, their feelings, their wants, their desires, concerns. Miscommunication or lack of communication can lead to unresolved conflicts. Okay. A lot of us have emotional baggage. I mentioned that. How many people have emotional baggage from other relationships? Don't know how to resolve the other relationships. They listening to people. They ain't never been in a relationship. They ain't never had no woman leave them. They ain't never did all of these things. Here's the thing. Here's a tip for the men. Stop approaching women like you would approach a prostitute. That's one good tip. Stop doing that. Maybe the outcomes would be different. I don't know, but that's a tip. Okay. And ladies, get on birth control. That's another tip for you ladies. Emotional baggage, right? People's past traumas or unresolved issues may influence their behavior and create barriers in the relationship. You may have had, the female may have been raped, and it's still affecting her mentally. And she's never gotten any kind of help for it. She's just lived with it, thought it was okay, became promiscuous, never had any kind of thought to go and see any kind of counselor. Man too. May have went to jail, prison, traumatized, don't know how to act, don't know how to approach a woman, don't know how to make her be in a relationship or approach her for a relationship. And this is the major problem. A lot of you guys are scared to be vulnerable in relationships, vulnerable to another human being. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. It'd be nice. Please hit the like button. I appreciate it. People are scared to be vulnerable. And when you're scared to be vulnerable, you don't want to put yourself out there or extend yourself. And therefore, you're not able to connect in relationships. Even though you may be a good person, you haven't addressed any of your trauma. A lot of y'all got unrealistic expectations. One or both of y'all. This places too much pressure on people. There's no way. I know I'm imperfect. Okay? I know that. A lot of people you hear on it, they got the best outcomes, the best attitude, the best sex game, all the money in the world. And then when they get off here, all of that's a lie. Expectations and pressure in relationships. You can both be good people, but if you have those kind of things going on, unrealistic expectations, it ain't gonna work. That's why communication is so important. Emotional stability, emotional maturity, and the external stressors, all that work, play, pressure, family, blah, 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 all of that, life circumstances, long distance, health, you name it, takes a toll on relationships. That's why they cannot be perfect. An imperfect person cannot necessarily be successful in relationships. But you have to grow in these relationships, and a human being has to grow. A female has to grow, and the man has to grow. That's why I encourage you to be autonomous. I encourage a person to fulfill what they need. I heard the other day some guy say, Black women only want a finished product. Black women only want men to come finished and fully running. Yes. But when you're a certain age, you're never going to be finished. So therefore, that's asinine to say she wants a full product. Most men at the age of 35 are not making the most that they have ever made or will make. So therefore, her looking for a man that at a certain age, that makes no sense. Women don't want a finished product. Women want you to have a stable position, a stable job. Be stable. Have your own apartment, have your own house, be supplying and contributing to your own bills. If that's a finished product, then we women want a finished product. Please hit the like button when you come in. Please hit the like button. I thought that was the dumbest statement ever. Women want a finished product. Black women want a finished product. Black women don't want to work with men. We're the one group of women that people want us to be ride or die. Black women. So stop it. We're not out here asking for a finished product. We're asking for you to have a job, a car, an apartment, be supporting yourself. That's what we require. And they'll take you just like that. A job, a car, an apartment, and be supporting yourself, regardless of whatever money you make. It's a lie. If somebody ever says that, I don't believe it, and I know it's not true. Different emotional needs. We all have different emotional needs. One person might be more emotionally available or unstable, while the other person is just fine. You have to figure out what kind of attachment styles you guys have together. Mismatch attachment styles, it's going to be difficult to meet this person's needs, or they meet your needs. If you're a clingy person and they're not, that person is going to have a hard time trying to deal with the clinginess, and you're going to have a hard time dealing with someone pulling away. And we all have the problem of finding somebody, and we're at the wrong place in our life, and we might find the wrong person or the right person. After me having 2 children by one person, I found the right person. I came home from college and I met him. And he just happened to be from Alaska, and he just happened to be there, and he just happened to be working a year in my hometown, and I just happened to meet him one night. The right person at the wrong time may not work out because of priorities, and you may want a commitment and they didn't. I met him and he wanted a commitment, regardless of whether I had 2 children or not. A person may not be in a place where they can give you what you want or give you a relationship, but you have to learn to walk away if they're not ready. And there's nothing wrong with that. And here's a worse thing. People have boundary issues, right? You don't know how to set boundaries, and she don't know how to keep boundaries. But the one thing I do know is you cannot give boundaries to another human being. You can only give boundaries to yourself. I know what I'm going to accept. Those are boundaries on me. You cannot put boundaries on another human being. It doesn't work. Even good intentions, even good boundaries can sometimes unintentionally mess things up. So this is what I hear on the internet too. I'm going to say this is one of the things I keep telling men and women. Men, You need to get boundaries. You need to say, this is what I'm going to accept. And that doesn't mean going out and then seeing a woman that you like and then all you want is to have sex with her. If that's all you want to do is have sex with her, then don't lead her down a path where it might be something else. Because you as men should already know that women think sex is more than just sex. People think and have different love languages too. They express and receive love in different ways. I'm not a touchy-feely person. If you touchy-feely me, I'm going to be like, don't do that. Especially in public. Specifically in public. At home, it's a different thing. Out in public, don't do that. Don't do that. Right? That mismatch can create frustration. We know that. But you got to be aware of these differences. Partners feeling unloved and unappreciated because you don't know their love language or you haven't taken time to learn their love language, right? Hit the like button when you come in. Hit the like button. So please support the channel. If you have $1, please support the channel. If you have $1, $2, $5, whatever you need, please support, or whatever you have, please support the channel. That would be nice. Super chat or the Cash App is pinned to the top of the chat. And super chat is down at the bottom. Please hit the like button when you come in the door. Please hit the like button. Even good people can unknowingly fall into patterns, messed up patterns. I'm giving more than you. You're not giving me all that I need. You're treating me like this. I need this from you. You're not giving it to me. Those are unhealthy dynamics that we fall into all the time. And I think that's part of the problem. People think, I don't want to be giving her all my feelings and she don't reciprocate. She don't want me like I want her. If either partner has unresolved issues and struggles, it's going to be a problem. The relationship is going to be uneven. Here's another thing. Loving somebody is unconditional. I didn't fall in love with a person so that they would fall back in love with me. That's not how that works. You just fall in love with a person. Please hit the like button coming in the door. Please hit the like button. You just fall in love with a person. You're hoping that person falls in love with you. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But both parties need to make an effort. One person's love cannot sustain a relationship. It doesn't work that way. A person's lack of willingness or investment in a relationship can lead to a person feeling burnt out and neglected. That's why relationships are not perfect. Cultural and social differences in background, traditions, religions, expectations. These are all different challenges that people have to overcome if you want to be in a relationship with another person. Society, family, children, they all put strain on relationships. And sometimes a perfect relationship, maybe you just ain't the right fit. You can have all the same things, and sometimes you're not meant to be with that person, regardless. Chemistry. There has to be some kind of chemistry, sexual chemistry, something, compatibility. That cannot be forced. It cannot be manufactured. A woman who is there dealing with a man for his money, that sexual attraction is not going to be there. Most of the time, if you're dealing with someone and it's just for the money, please hit the like button. Coming in the door, please hit the like button. If you like the content, please hit the like button. Relationships require more than a good person. Relationships require more than a perfect person. It will not work. Nobody's perfect. Emotional intelligence is required. Effort, compatibility is required. Not all relationships that end are failures. Maybe it's just a season, but you have to figure out how to navigate the ending of those relationships and be able to move on. Some of these are learned experiences. Some of these things you have to learn and experience and be a part of before you can be in a real relationship. Okay. So this is the part of what I was talking about today, or wanted to impart to you all today. You're not perfect, so stop looking for perfection in women. What about feelings? What about you wanting to have a relationship with somebody based on feelings? Approaching the relationship with your heart involved instead of saying, oh, well, she got to have a lot of men. Men think so much behind here. You talk yourself out of relationships. Okay. You talk yourself out of relationships. You talk yourself out of good relationships. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. I'd appreciate $1, Cash App or Super Chat. That would be amazing. Please, if you like the content. Now, I would like someone who can come up and give me some more information regarding why I say people are not perfect. You're not perfect. Why are we looking for perfection? And we're not talking about a woman who we're not talking about weird women on this end or men on this end, because you all have a habit of talking about the people that are on the extreme end. I'm talking about the people in the middle. The regular, ordinary people who have idiosyncrasies that may or may not fit with another human being, but they want to be in a relationship. I always say, I'm not a fan of the Pookie and Ray Ray mantra, because Pookie and Ray, a lot of men do Pookie-esque behavior. And yet you would consider yourself a good man. So therefore, women do 3 or 4-ish behavior sometime, and they consider themselves good women. So if you consider yourself a good man and you do Pookie-esque behavior, and a lot of men do Pookie-esque behavior, and a lot of women do 3 or 4 behavior, where does that leave people? If one instance or one part of their character is going to make you flawed all the way, or you're too scared to get off the bench and try. No, they all want money. They just want money, and I don't make enough money, so I just can't go over there. No, she be twerking on the internet. Her pictures look crazy. She got her ass out. I just can't talk to her. Fear don't get a closed mouth fed. That's the way I look at it. You don't know anything about a human being until you talk to them, until you converse with them. Lead with attraction first. I'm attracted to this person. So I have to get near the person in order to find out how the person really is. And you standing over in the corner saying, no, she got her ass, I don't know. That don't lead to nothing. What does that lead to? That leads to us where we are. This is the reason why I posed the question about the Kevin Samuels thing. Kevin Samuels. Hey, Kevin, did the relationships get better when you started talking, or did they get worse? I posit that they got worse because you didn't fix anything, or you didn't set a line towards relationships. What you did was you gave men a license to be misogynistic, according to women, and then you gave women a reason to hide their true nature or hide any carefree attitude that they may or may not have. So you didn't fix relationships. They got worse. So now it's left. It's for the left of the people that are left, to figure out what's going on and how to make things work, how to make relationships work. Please hit the like button on the way in. Please hit the like button on the way in. I would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Please, I would appreciate you hitting the like button. And $1 or $2 as a Cash App or a Super Chat would be amazing. Thank you, Jay Tillman, for being a member. Thank you. Mr. Walker, thank you for the $5 super sticker. Thank you very much. Thank you. So this is that presentation that I had to you all. So my whole point there, I'm not saying men or women are relationship worthy. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is everyone has imperfections. Everyone. Would you want a person to see you in the dark recesses of the night? Love should be unconditional. I didn't fall in love with you so you could fall in love with me. That's not how that goes. You fall in love with a person because you want to, because you can't help yourself but falling in love with that person. Oh, men definitely say the things I say. If you go to a different channel, they'll definitely say that, right? They'll definitely say some wild and interesting things. Hi, Shiesty Bomb. Whoa. But Mr. J. Tillman, hello. Steel G Honda. Okay. Mr. Walker. Stephen James, thank you all for coming. Thank you. Yes. Erica's Corner. Okay. Mr. Walker. Yes. Yes. These are on different panels. I'm just bringing up the information or the information or the conversations that I hear. I just listen. I don't go and get on the panels. I just listen, right? Listen to these talking points that people have, and they're talking points. They're talking points. Because we're rattling around on the talking points and we're not getting anywhere. Okay. And the whole point is to get somewhere in relationships, to get somewhere. Okay. Because if you keep saying the talking points, all I've heard for the past year, and I've been on here for a year, I've been on here for a year and I've been on here a year and a half. And I've heard people say all of these talking points, and nobody has gotten any further than what they have gotten in relationships. So how is it that we're affecting relationships or trying to have effective relationships, and it's not working? This is not working. So we're trying something new. We're trying to get people to see that we want to have good relationships. So therefore, we're going to have to open up our thought processes. Because I can go to a female's panel and a female will say, all men aren't any good. And the men will say, all women are not any good. But where have we gotten? How many times have we went around the circle? And this is a monologue in which I say, stop saying that you're perfect and figure out what you actually want, and then go get actually what you want, regardless of what you think may be going on. You cannot know a person until you get into the room with that person. From over here, that person may seem like a bad person, but you never know till you walk over there and you find out. And a lot of people die with regret, or they forget. that regret is one of the worst things that a person can have. Okay. I say we had this conversation over and over again with every panel that I have been on to. Please hit the like button, guys. Please hit the like button. I said, I always ask the same question. Did Kevin Samuels make relationships better? I'm looking for the evidence of that. Yes, Kevin Samuels did affect males' vision of what relationships are. But did it make the relationships better? Did women start falling in line like dominoes? Why didn't women stop? If it was such the correct vision, why didn't women fall in line like dominoes? Okay. Why didn't women fall in line? I'm curious. Why hasn't the women fallen in line? If men are so perfect and they don't need to do anything on their end, women have to be fit, feminine, and friendly, and that's it. Why haven't women fallen in line? Okay. And that didn't work either, right? And I'm saying you can only fix your backyard. And once you fix your backyard and present your best self to the world, you wouldn't have these issues. You shouldn't have these issues and problems. But let's be clear. Some people on this planet will never have a relationship. Some people won't. It's not for every human being. Every human being won't. Okay. Not every human being won't. Hey, Repink. Hello, hello. Hit the like button when you guys come in. Hit the like button. So, G Honda, I see your chat. Why am I windmilling today? Please explain. I thought I laid out the case for people not being perfect. I thought I laid it out perfectly. Okay. Okay. I thought I laid it out perfectly. Windmilling is not windmilling when I'm telling the truth. This is something that men have to grapple with. Women are not falling in line. So if women are not falling in line, what do? Apparently, we have to look at that problem in a different light. We have to go about it in a different way. Okay. So I'm saying, look at yourself first. Figure out those imperfections. Learn to be accepting of other people's imperfections. So this is what I do, and this is the way I'm going to put it to people. Can we do that? Is it possible that people can do that? Okay. But I want to hear. Wait a minute. Someone tell me about this Kevin Samuels. What is this? Why is he saying to me? Why is he saying this one thing? In the chat, he said, how do you know Kevin Samuels didn't affect male vision of what relationships are and where their standings are personally? I'm pretty sure that he did. But I think you guys enjoyed him taking us down 2 or 3 pegs, us women taking us down 2 or 3 pegs better than you like the advice that he gave us. More. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. So it's a question that I put to the panel, or it's a question I put to the chat, or it might be Steven's question alone. Okay. We're always being challenged for our wants and our desires as women. Every person can want what they want. Every person is allowed to want what they want. Okay. The whole point is, are you what they want? Are you giving the person what they want? And that person can be perfect, fit, feminine, friendly, and it still won't work. But a person has to be able to accept another person's flaws first, without judgment, without moral high ground. If you're not willing to do that, then you're not willing to be in a relationship.